Hi guys, in this video we're gonna learn about the implementation of control statements in C++. Let's see the first question. Given an array of length L or more of ints, return the difference between the largest and the smallest values in the array. What we have to do is we have to input an integer array from the user and we have to print the difference between the largest and the smallest number. Let's see the code to do. First of all, hash include iostream. The basic any program of C++ will contain this line hash include iostream, which is hash include is a preprocessor directive which tells the compiler to add another file into a source file, and iostream is a header file. It is used to input and output operations, and every block of code will start executing from this main function. Here int is a integer data type and I am declaring integer array of size 10. I, n, max, minimum, difference are my variables. Cout is used to print something to the console, and this is called the put operator, and sin is used to get the input from the user, and these two arrow marks are called the get operators. Here I am printing enter the number of elements. I am getting input from the user n, and I am again printing enter the number of elements from the array, and using for loop I am going to take the input from the user and I'm initializing my max to array of 0, which is called array of 0 is the first element I am entering into the array. Why I am doing is to check whether, if let's take 1 2 3 4 5 is my input, it will check whether 1 is less than or equal to is less than the second element of the array. For example, something if you take for example if I 1 is less than 1, no, or else it will take 1 is less than 2. So this way you can find the maximum element in the array. Whenever it is less than, it will initialize the value to max is equal to array of I, so that I can find the maximum element in the array. Next I am initializing minimum to array of first element of the array, and this way it will check every value in the array and it will get the minimum value of the array. And here I am printing the difference between the maximum and the minimum value, and then I am printing the difference. The difference between maximum and minimum is difference, and I am returning 0 because I am using integer here. Let's see the second question. Given 3 ints a, b, c, return true if it is possible to add 2 of the ints to get the third. So for example, if I give 1 2 3, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so it must print true. If I give 3 2 2, 3 plus 2 is not equal to 2, or 2 plus 2 is not equal to 3, it must print false. Let's see the code. As usual, it will include hash include iostream.h. It will be a basic statement in every C++ program, and here I am declaring 3 variables to get input from the user, and I am using sin operator to get the input from the user, and I am using if statement. I am checking if a plus b equal to c, or b plus c equal to a, or a plus c equal to b, it will see out true, or else it will print false. Let's run the code and check. I'll give 1 2 and 3, it will print 2. Let's see another question. I have to print a full pyramid of numbers. A pyramid of numbers I have to print. Let's see the code for it. Here I am initializing, I am declaring an integer rows. C is equal to 0, C1 is equal to 0, and K is equal to 0, and I am printing enter the number of rows. I will get the number of rows from the user, and using for loop I will initialize int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to rows. Example, if I give 5, I less than or equal to 5, it will increment I, and it will come to the inner loop, and I am declaring space is equal to 1 because I have to print the spaces here. I have to print these spaces. Consider these spaces, I have to print them. So I am declaring something called space. Space is equal space less than or equal to rows minus I, and it will increment space. And in the for loop, every time when the loop executes, it will print a space here. For example, if I give 5, I from 1 to I less than or rows minus I means from 1 to 4, it will print 4 spaces. If you see here, there are 4 spaces, 1 2 3 and 4. I have to print 4 spaces, and when it comes to this row, I'll increment I and I'll print 3 spaces. So this way I'll print my spaces, and when k is not equal to 2 into I minus 1, for example, if k is 0 here first, so if 0 is not equal to 2 into 1 minus 1, that is if 0 is not equal to 1, it will come here, and c is 1 c plus plus, I less than or equal to rows, where it will print I plus k and it will print a space and it will increment I. Or else if this condition fails, it comes to this statement and increment c1 which is equal to 0, and it will print I plus k minus 2 into c1, it will print a space again. And if it comes out of the loop, it will increment k, and finally it will initialize again c1, c and k is equal to 0, and it will end the line. So at last, if you run the code and check, if I give number of rows is 5, what it will print? It will print 1, 2, 3, 2, as you saw in the question. It will print the same thing. Let's see another question. Develop a menu driven calculator using while and switch case to do the following operations: plus, minus, divided by, modulus, and star. Star is multiplying. Let's see the code for it. Yeah, I'm initializing an integer variable op and float ab, and I'll print in the console, enter the two numbers, and I'll input a and b from the user. While one, why I'm using while here is to get repeatedly input from the user. I'm using while statement here. So when it comes inside the while statement, every time it will print the menu, and it will ask the user to enter the operator, and it will get the operator from the user. And using switch case, I'm giving, if the user enters 1, it have to add, so c out a plus b, and the statement will break. Or else if it's subtraction, a minus b, or else the user gives multiply, a into b, or else it's divide, a by b, and defaultly if any other number is added given, then it will print invalid statement, and it will break and return the output. Let's run the code and check. If I give, for example, 2 and 3, let's see what it will print. I have to add, I'll give 1, so it's printing 5. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Same way you can get multiple inputs from the user and check for every condition. Thank you.